So I have been incredibly curious to see what bent grass germination looks like. And I think I see some. Experts out there tell me if I'm wrong. So if I look around, let's see, looking at the lens here, it's the hard part. I'm basically looking for the super fine hairs just poking out of the soil. I need to like stick my finger in here so you can see. Okay, there we go. So that's my question. That little guy right there in the middle, is that bent grass germination, or is that just tillering from the Kentucky bluegrass that is here? I don't think it's tillering, just because I'm looking around and with how fine that is, I just don't. You can see more right there. I'm trying to see where else I see some. There's a bunch right in there. And if you're looking at it, like, you can see it. But there's not a ton right now. Which makes me want to go and put down maybe some more seed, you know, in a real specific area so I can watch and see it germinate. But like right in here, boy, at the base of that one stalk. Is that it? Nope. Up one. Right there. Like at the base of that stalk, it's really hard to see, but there's little tiny fine hair coming out of there. And not out of the stalk, out of a separate germination point. So, I don't know, I'm gonna stare at this some more, but the more I look at it, I do see little tiny fine hairs popping up. So, I don't know, maybe in a week. This guy is not really doing the job as far as keeping it wet. It's also 95 degrees and uber windy today, so I have been trying to just soak this. Maybe the areas where there's less cover, I could see some germination. You know, these spots where the ryegrass died back. But man, I tell you what, I don't see a whole lot of anything. It's only been maybe 5 days. You can see where I came back and scalped that last night, where I had the other reel mower running. But I've let this get a little bit longer, and I honestly let it dry out, pull that sprinkler, and just give it a haircut. Because I want to make sure that, you know, none of this turf is thick enough where it's going to cause a problem as far as germination. But it's getting there. What's wild to me is like these dark green areas are where the rye did not kill. The question is why? You know, why down here? Was the snow cover better? Because this corner is great. Maybe there was a snowbank, now that I think about it, down in here, whereas the rest of this was pretty open. Especially that over there where it got cooked in front of the shed. That was just bare grass all winter. So I've been reading a lot about what makes grass die in the winter. Basically, if you're pushing a ton of nitrogen in the fall and you got a bunch of growth going, it causes problems when the plant's trying to chill out, dry down. So, here's what it is. You can always put more seed down. I think that's what I'm going to do over here, right? Like specifically in some of those lines there. But I also want it dense enough that I also don't know how thick I really put it down. It's like powder. That's my problem with bent grass. I don't really know what I'm doing. So it is an experiment. I should just put bent grass back here too. See if I can get it to grow and see what happens, because that's just garbage back there. But okay, well, onward and upward. I'll give you another update in 4 or 5 days. Asking a question about whether or not I'm seeing germination, and came in here because this is kind of my test plot, and I'll be dang, look at that. I got some germination and it looks identical, but my goodness, is that hard to see. There's even some back in over there. I will be very interested in to compare and contrast. That's how far away we are. I'm very interested to see what that bent does in here over time as it's kind of growing and maturing. We've got moisture coming up from the bottom, so it should be plenty well soaked. I need to get some of these outside. They look like they're struggling. It's not a moisture thing. I definitely think it's some of that fungus that got on them. They really struggle with that, but I don't know. Hit them with a little bit of this antifungal stuff and see how it goes. Tomatoes seem like they're doing okay. These guys back here are the jelly bean tomatoes. Over here, I got one Cherokee left, and I believe what I've got left in the back here are the cherry tomatoes. Should I just plant? I don't know. Just got lots of things to plant, so we'll get it figured out.